Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting and give you my opinion on them, including AT&T comes out against net neutrality, at least against it the way FCC is doing it. Why is YouTube TV only broadcasting in 720p? We'll break down why they don't use higher standards on all their channels. Little flash tip here, not in their control for some of it. And AT&T says DirecTV is doing better than they expected, but they didn't rule out selling it. We got a whole bunch of details on these stories and more coming right up. Plus, at the end of this video, I'll answer one of your questions about why you can't just buy individual channels for more channels. With that said, if you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes down below, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to each story there so you can read about them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, and hopefully we can help you break free from high-cost TV, but still watch the show so you enjoy. So let's start off with AT&T says net neutrality is not needed. Now, AT&T had their big earnings call yesterday. We had full coverage of it over at CordCuttersNews.com. But a couple highlights. The CEO of AT&T came out and towards the end kind of went on a slight rant against the FCC's proposed net neutrality. He was very clear that net neutrality isn't needed here in the United States, and he made some good points. And I think one of the things that we got to kind of remember is, and AT&T was very clear about this, is they're not against the principle, they say, of open internet, no pay-to-play thing, no tiered internet, no favoring one site over another for pay, that kind of stuff. What they did complain about was switching the internet over to what's called a Tier 2 service, which would give the FCC more control over it, allowing them to regulate it more closely. One of the things they said is, hey, you know, our internet network is the best in the world, basically, compared to Europe when 2020 happened and Netflix and YouTube had to downgrade their video quality to standard depth because the networks were unable to handle the huge demand. They said in the United States, we were able to handle the demand. Our networks are being invested in heavily here in the United States and more. He especially pointed to the explosion in fiber being laid across the country. Now, with that said, he did say, hey, if the FCC does pass this, so-called net neutrality, as he put it, that the AT&T will make sure it follows the law. Let's just sum that up in plain language. We'll take you to the court, FCC. We don't think this is legal, and we're going to fight this in the courts. Very interesting. Let me know, what do you think of AT&T? Do you agree with them that it's not needed? Or do you think net neutrality is needed the way that the FCC is doing it? Leave me a comment, let me know. All right, one of the most common questions I get a lot, we have a full story over at Cord Cutters News about this, is why is YouTube TV just at 720p? Well, the truth is that's because most cable channels are at 720p. Even the vast majority of sporting events broadcast in 720p. When HD became standard, that was what most people were using. It's kind of funny now because, like YouTube, 720p is no longer considered HD on YouTube. You need to be at least 1080p. But YouTube TV says they are working on it. They're using upscaling, which I'm assuming is AI-powered upscaling, to take more sporting events from 720p to 1080p on devices that support the VP9 codec. And they say more devices are doing that. And they say NFL Sunday Ticket will have distinct source feeds broadcast in 1080p with a mixture of native and upscale. So all NFL Sunday Ticket games will be in 1080p. Or better, you always have a few that are in 4K, for example. So sadly, the real problem here, and this isn't excluded to YouTube TV, all streaming services, all cable companies struggle with this. What the cable channels are broadcasting in is just 720p. It's just, that's the source. That's what they're putting down the pipes, as they say. So keep that in mind. Hopefully that will slowly change over time. All right, quick deal of the day. Amazon's Fire TV Stick, the HD version, is half off. Network unavailable. Let's go back. It's half off right now with it. Sorry about this. Let's fix this real quick here. There we go. Deal of the day. 720p half off. Hey, this is recorded real. Sometimes people ask why I don't edit things. Honestly, it's a little bit of a time thing, but we're looking at hiring an editor. But hey, deal of the day. Fire TV sticks are half off. And right now, if you buy a Fire TV stick, you get 6 months free MGM Plus. It's a really good deal here for a lot of content. $19.99 for an HD Fire TV stick and 6 months of MGM Plus. So check that out. All right. During the earnings call, AT&T also talked a little bit about DirecTV. They were asked about the future of DirecTV and what's happening with it. They said they were very happy with DirecTV, exceeding expectations, and the revenue is very strong. Now, they did leave the door open, though, that if something came along that was a better deal, they would be open to it, hinting that the report from Bloomberg about a few weeks ago that said that AT&T was considering selling DirecTV could be right. I think most businesses are like this, right? AT&T is an asset in DirecTV that they're not managing. Another company manages it, but they own 70% of it, and they just take a cut of the profits every quarter. Basically, they said, hey, if a company comes and makes us an offer that makes it worthwhile, we'll do it. I think a lot of companies are that way. Now, they did say they expect that DirecTV's profits from it will continue to shrink. And maybe at that point, they may be more willing to sell. They didn't say that. I'm speculating that part. But for now, AT&T says they are very happy with DirecTV. All right, quick question of the day. Roku came out with a study that said 1 in 4 streamers will lie that they like a show that their significant other does to try to be nice to them. To say, hey, yeah, of course I love Glee or whatever it may be that they don't enjoy. So question, have you ever pretended to enjoy a show that you actually did not enjoy because your significant other did? Leave me a comment. But according to Roku, 1 in 4 streamers do that. So I want to hear from you for question of the day. There's a new streaming service coming from the Tennis Channel early 2024 and early next year, according to a press release sent to us by Sinclair, the parent company of the Tennis Channel, that will offer live and on-demand matches, including a live feed of the Tennis Channel, the cable channel, not T2, not the free one, but the cable version. So you'll no longer, if you're a tennis fan, need to subscribe to a huge bundle of channels to get the Tennis Channel. You'll be able to get all those tennis matches included with this service. Probably cheaper, hopefully. Pricing, date release, all that kind of information, not announced. Hopefully soon we'll learn more. There's a continued crackdown on piracy. The major movie studios in the UK have targeted 47 illegal live IPTV services to shut them down. They've sent cease and desist and targeted them to be ended. And they say a majority of those services have already shut down. So good news there. A majority of the services have shut down with it. So we'll see. What do you think? Do you think that the studios will ever get ahead of piracy or at least make a dent in it? Let me know what you think. All right, the death of the home phone. With AT&T's earnings, they announced that AT&T lost 416,000 home phone customers in just 3 months. This comes as AT&T is cutting back their traditional phone service, their copper lines. They hope to shut down half of those. But it also includes VoIP customers. You can still get phone service from home from AT&T, much like you do from Comcast, which is over the internet with it. But they say increasingly people are just going to wireless. They saw a huge boom in wireless customer adds and an expansion of their fiber. But very clearly, I think most people are just not seeing a need for home phone now. They're cell phones. When I bought my first home, when I rented, I have never paid for a home phone. Just never done it. I've just had my cell phone, and that's been all I need. People call me on my cell phone. Are you like me? Leave me a comment. Have you never had a home phone? And lastly, last week it broke that T-Mobile would be forcing customers to migrate from older plans to new, more expensive plans. Now, that notification went out yesterday, and T-Mobile has now come out and said, hey, that was kind of just a test. Only 1% of our customers are affected, and we're only testing it. If you are affected, you should have received a text message or a notification email and more from T-Mobile. You can contact them to opt out of that and stay in your current discounted plan. But let me know, do you believe that T-Mobile was just testing this out? It was only 1% of their customers? Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, let's dive into our question of the day. Now, if you have a question for me, leave a comment on this video. Start off with question for Luke or something like that, so I know it's a question to answer in this video. And I'll pick 1 or 2 questions depending on the day and how long they are to answer, and answer them right here at the end of these videos. So check it out. Leave me a comment, and maybe your question will be answered next. But today's question comes up here and says, I've been paying $45 a month to watch just 2 channels. I'm assuming that's through Sling TV. Excuse me. Well, how come I can't just subscribe to those 2 channels, and why do I need a big bundle? Well, in short, the 2 channels you listed are Fox-owned channels. And in short, they don't want you to be able to just pay for these 2 channels. If you were able to pay for just 2 channels, then that you wouldn't be able to bundle in a bunch of channels. Disney does this, and that's one of the things that the Spectrum fight was about, right? If you want ESPN, you also have to have these other dozen-some channels out there. If you don't want ESPN, well, tough luck, you have to, because it's bundled with the Disney Channel, Freeform, and all these others. Spectrum had some success breaking that up, and we are seeing, we just talked about the tennis channel going direct to consumers. Reportedly, ESPN will do that in the next few years, and more. But increasingly, most cable channels would not survive if they weren't bundled. They rely on a lot of customers paying for them who don't actually watch them. And that's why they're unwilling to unbundle these and sell them directly, because they know, the channel owners, that most people could care less. And I've even seen reports that say something like CNN, for example, on its own would not survive at its current price point if it wasn't being force bundled in with people who weren't actually watching it. So we'll see how that plays out. But hopefully someday we'll get more a la carte options. I think we're slowly moving that way. Tennis Channel was a great example today. But it's going to be a slow process, not going to happen overnight. Maybe in the next few months, maybe in the next few years, we'll hear of a lot more channels doing it though. So that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy Friday, happy weekend. I'll be back Monday with another video just like this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It really does help. Take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.